Hello, I'm Cryptic Hybrid and this is Nightmare Frames. Now, Nightmare Frames is a point-and-click adventure game that's set in the 1980s and has you playing a slasher film scriptwriter who's searching for what might be the scariest film ever made. Now, this is the prologue of Nightmare Frames. The full release is planned for 2022, but now in 2021 we have the prologue out, so we're gonna check it out together. New game. Of course it's raining, good. The guys don't know the lunatic returned to camp. I have to warn them before it's too late. Moonstore camp. They're not there, I just checked. I hope I find them alive. The docks, they must be there. Oh no. Oh Jesus. Dana, Hank, Will, what have they done to you? I'm too late. Where's Tommy? Tommy? Tommy! I'm guessing Tommy's dead too? Or not yet. Tommy! Stacy, run! Run away! Let him go, you monster! Get out of here! He'll come for you! I can't take it anymore. Oh Jesus. Okay. Shit. You've been suspecting it for a while. The climax of Lunatic 2 is identical to the one you wrote for the original movie. You go over the whole script in your mind and end up realizing it has the same structure as its predecessor. You can't show this to Christopher Ruskin. Melodies of Heaven? No wonder you've put this you've put such little interest in the script for Lunatic 2. All your thoughts are focused on the ambitious project that will take you back to the times of Melodies of Heaven. The script that earned you an Oscar nomination in 1980. Wow. Famous producer Peter Evans is butting heads with the studio execs to get the project greenlit. According to him, the deal is almost done, which means you're just one step away from leaving the B-movies pit you're in. He was meeting with the executive this morning. You have an appointment later today at his place, hopefully to celebrate. It's getting late, I should get moving. Hollywood, 1985. Right click to look, left click to interact. Pretty straightforward. Staring at the poster of Melodies of Heaven, you've got the feeling that there's another reality in which some other Alan Goldberg, an Oscar winner, enjoys a successful career within the big studio system. So he's Goldberg, Alan Goldberg. I want my Friday the 13th, Alan, Christopher Ruskin told you. And that's what you did. Apathetically penning a fragrant copy of Sean S. Cunningham's classic. However, the movie was Ruskin Productions' biggest success to date, and today it's considered a cult classic. Does anyone know how Hollywood works? Because I definitely don't. The killer in President's Day Killer was a dangerous far-right madman who used a Jimmy Carter mask to stage a massacre at a Young Democrats convention. Since then, you've had the reputation for being a reactionary, which confirms what you already knew. Horror fans are idiots. That does not sound like a line that would be, in 1985. A reactionary? Far right? Jimmy Carter? Really? I mean, sure, Jimmy Carter, but far right and reactionary? That sounds weird. 2 years ago, 3D horror movies made their comeback in Hollywood with titles such as Friday the 13th 3D, Amityville 3D, and Jaws 3D. When is it? Wasn't this supposed to be 85? Of course, Ruskin Productions wanted its share of the pie. They commissioned a new slasher film full of gory scenes where the entrails of the victims would jump at the viewer. However, the budget was so small for a change that most of the scenes requiring more complex visual effects than usual were discarded. The director made up for it by moving the camera closer to the actress's breasts. Ruskin didn't object. Neither did the viewers. You try not to focus too much on the promotional poster for Lunatic. You fear your future will consist only of writing its sequels up until far into the 90s. Yeah, it could be worse. You've lost track of how long ago you unplugged the TV, never to plug it back in again. There's nothing of interest in that box. You usually read the news in the papers, and TV series are nothing more than watered down movies. Oh, but he has awards. Even if you don't consider your work in horror movies as worthy of any praise, other people do. You've been awarded Best Script for the Fantasporto jury for President's Day Killer. Lunatic caused a sensation in the Sitges Film Festival, and you won Best Screenwriter. Well, that's something. That same year, you also collected awards in Avoriaz thanks to Lunatic. You didn't pick up a single one of them in person. You hate the crowds at those B-tier festivals. But there's something you hate even more, being surrounded by fans of horror movies. Wow, this guy seems awful. I mean, he's writing horror movies and he hates the fans? Maybe you should do something else, dude. VHS editions of all the movies you've written sit on that shelf. Pan makes sure to send you a copy 2 days before each domestic format release. There's a pile of books on... Hold up. That's where you put your wallet. And to think you had it right under your nose when the Chinese food delivery guy refused, and rightfully so, to give you your order. Oh, should I take the... You take the wallet in the hopes of not misplacing it and forgetting about it again. It's a good thing you always carry a few bills in your jacket so you can pay for cabs. Alright, we got the wallet over here. Several credit cards and enough notes to not run out of money and have to get to the nearest ATM. You look at the tray where the script of the last sequel of Ruskin Productions' most recent successes lie and wonder what happened. Your mind might have been somewhere else, or you may be agreeing with those who argue that the slasher genre has nothing more to say. A mug. Let's see. 6 years have passed since you arrived at the mecca of cinema. The first year was just as you imagined. Dinners in luxury restaurants, non-stop handshakes with stars, and a walk down the Oscars red carpet to top it all off. Oh, that was pretty good. But good things don't last forever. You've spent 5 years in what you call Hollywood hell. You wholeheartedly wish everything would go back to the way it used to be, and you still hope it will. But the wait is starting to feel like an eternity. Well, the cemetery of the bad ideas you come up with when you're not focused, which happens a lot lately. Christopher Ruskin insisted that you had to get with the times, so he bought you a brand new IBM PC 5150 with text processor. However, you still prefer to write scripts the traditional way. You can't imagine working without the relaxing sound of the keys banging away at the typewriter roller. I mean, if you could get a mechanical keyboard, then, you know, at least the sound would be soothing. You always wanted to have an apartment you could write your scripts in with a view of the Hollywood sign. Jeez, this guy's a walking cliche. If it wasn't for the fact that you have to stick half your body out the window just to be able to see the letter D, you could say you've achieved your dream. Unlike the people at Variety, somebody at Fangoria magazine thinks you should have a subscription. That's why it arrives promptly at your mailbox each month. Ever since you spoke out publicly against the character of Eliza from Eliza's Mansion of Horrors, you've been flooded with anonymous letters from her fans wishing you the most horrible of deaths. Well, it's kind of fan mail, right? You've been shut in at home for so long that you had to cross that door a couple of times just to check you weren't developing agoraphobia. Nah, you're just a prick, dude. Probably. Welcome to LA United Taxi. Where do you want to go? When you get in the taxi, the drivers will talk to you. You can disable this feature in the options menu. No, I'd rather have that. Alright, so Alan's home, Ruskin Productions, Peter Evans' mansion, or Joe's Diner. I mean, Let's see Joe's diner first and then go to Peter Evans's mansion, because we have to talk about, you know, maybe getting our career back on track. Well, well, who do we have here? Crawled back from your hole already? I see you're still in yours. Ooh. Hey Joe, doesn't this place have an admittance policy? Do you want me to kick him out, Vicky? Oh, no one likes me, what a surprise. Joe replaces the arcade machine often, so kids keep coming to discover new games and blowing their weekly allowance on it. Okay, let's play. It's coin operated. Why, don't I have some money? You don't have any coins in your wallet. Ah, alright. Menu. Client photos. TV. That damn channel which broadcasts video clips without any interruption 24 hours a day. It's so popular that studios are starting to hire music video directors to, in your opinion, deal cinema its final death blow. Oh, MTV? No. Well, it's gonna be a big thing. And then, you know, by the mid-2000s, MTV is gonna die out. Joe proudly shows off his photos with celebrities who either walked in by mistake or needed the toilet urgently. Joe doesn't consider you famous enough to take a picture with you. Aww. Huh, of course not. Mac Paulin is a freelance journalist specialized in TV critique. He feels so at home in this place that he practically uses it as his office. Joe doesn't object. Mac leaves an average of $10 a day. How's it going, Mac? Wow, you're alive! I thought they were about to knock your door down and find you devoured by your cat. Do I have a cat? I haven't seen a cat in the apartment. I don't have a cat, yeah, exactly, see? I hid them. That would be a good end for me. Feeling optimistic today, are we? Aw, I'm glad to see you, friend. What can I help you with? Well, I see somebody's happy to see me. Why wouldn't I? Okay, you mean Joe. Well, he thinks highly of you, but you know him. Ah, you're referring to Vicky then. Well, I'm not meddling in other couples' affairs. We're not a couple. You'd be if you weren't so, I already said it. I'm not meddling in other couples' affairs. Oh. So Alan and Vicky are an item? So what are you writing? A review of the new Twilight Zone. I already know your answer, but I know a couple of guys in the CBS who owe me some favors. Aren't you interested in writing an episode for the series? You want me to work in TV? I don't want to end my days being a TV writer. Come on, Alan. TV's changing. Even William Friedkin directed an episode. And maybe in the future you'll have more freedom writing for TV than for movies. Yeah, but that's later. I know practically everyone in the job, and you could shine there. I appreciate it, but I won't insist. But if you ever change your mind, here I am. Mac knows people, warmonger. Maybe if you worked in TV, you wouldn't complain so much. Ooh. Oh, shut up. Alright, carry on with your thing. Let's see what's wrong with Vicky. Like most aspiring actresses, Vicky came to Hollywood full of hopes and dreams, just to end up waiting tables in one of the city's many restaurants. You spend good moments with her, and you could say she's the girl of your dreams, were it not for your particular way of dreaming. What does that mean? Like he's a weirdo, he wants some goth chick or something? Who knows? Maybe he's like that. What was that all about? I don't know what you're talking about. That dumb thing, the admittance policy thing? Don't you have anything to say to me? I don't know, good afternoon? Good? Oh god. Don't you owe me an apology? A week ago you were on a second date with Vicky despite the disaster that was the previous one. And it was worse. You got drunk and started talking too much. You only remember ending up lying down in a taxi soaked in the wine Vicky probably threw at you before running away, and a strong pain in your cheek. Oh, so she also slapped him. So, in these moments you wish you were at your typewriter with all the time in the world to think of all the possible answers your characters might give. You try to choose the right words to tell Vicky, but this page will probably end up in the trash can. Anyway, let's drop the subject, okay? What did I say? Don't you remember? I hadn't felt so insulted in my whole life, Alan. But what on earth did I say? I won't repeat it, hearing it once was enough. Okay, great. That's not helping. Keep it down, lovebirds. Aren't you going to tell me? It's not what you said, Alan. The problem is, you said it again. Everything revolves around you, and you end up ruining what could have been a special night. I would have sucked your dick. You're not the man who came to Hollywood years ago. That's the past. You still got a job, you make a living, and you're tasting success. But what more do you want? Do you want to know what frustration looks like? I spent 5 years in Hollywood and I haven't got any parts yet. I'm 35 and share an apartment with two 20-somethings who have barely been here for 2 months, and one's already been on Cheers and the others, and the others are regular on the Colbys. Not the Cosby's show, because that we can't talk about that anymore. And that doesn't prevent me from respecting the ones I love, you know? Alright, I'm sorry. I apologize if you felt offended. Oh no. What? What's that if? Of course I did. You're better at offending than at writing scripts, you know? Ooh. And the worst thing about it? What? God, I'm such an idiot that I hang out with you again tonight. What? Oh. But it's over, Alan. I don't need such a relationship in my life right now. I don't blame you for it. I can barely stand myself. Oh, I can barely stand myself. Well, try to see life as it is, Alan. Do your part if you want what we have to work. What? That was a weird line. For a moment you think about apologizing again, this time in a less apathetic and more sincere way. But you know it won't change Vicky's mind, so you decide to spare her the words. Alright, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Oh, Jesus. So, did you go to a casting this week? 3. And it's always the same, either too young or too old. She should have done porn. Why don't you get her into one of your movies? I tried. Twice, actually. Associate producers get their lady friends in. I can't do anything against that. You're not pushing yourself enough. That's not how it works, Joe. I'm just the screenwriter and Why am I explaining myself to you, huh? Why are you barging in on our conversation? Because Vicky's worth it. She's a good actress. Oh, I know she's good. She's very good. Yeah? If she were so good as you say, we'd have already seen her in a lunatic movie. Oh dear. Well, he's right. Let it be, Joe. Alan is right. Why are you defending him? Are you so infatuated that you swallow everything he says? Excuses. If he wanted to, you would have been in one of his movies already. Please, Joe. It's your life, and I'm not meddling. You haven't stopped meddling, you know? I only want the best for my employees, okay? Is that clear? May I know what I said during dinner? You should know. I should, but the thing is I don't. Then try to remember. Try to remember. How the hell do I remember? Do I, turn a mug upside down? Is that the thing? Where to, man? I mean, I need some good news, hopefully, so let's go to Peter Evans's mansion. Oh shit, that's not good news. Thanks for your cooperation, officer. Have a nice day. Oh, Goldberg, what a tragedy. What happened? Where's Evans? I'm afraid I've got bad news. Evans committed suicide. Oh, great. What? You're in shock too. You can't seem to understand. But why did he commit suicide? He got everything a man can aspire to. We don't know what goes through other people's minds, Goldberg. Truth is, he's seen more short-tempered than usual lately. But who isn't in this city, you know? I mean... So, what are you doing here? Evans had some essential documents that had to be submitted today in order to close the sale of the studio to the Japanese. Oh, he's selling the studio? The LA chief of police allowed me to go in and get them. Very kind on his part. Hold on, you're selling the studio? That's the plan. They are in charge from now on. Lucky me, they want to keep the current corporate board. Of course. You know, I had an appointment to talk about the project. Ah, yes. Well, let's talk about it, okay? As you know, Evans was the only one protecting your project against the opposition of the rest of the executives. Now that he's gone, I'm afraid we won't be following through with the movie. Anyway, I don't think it would have been made even with Evans, now that the studio will be in the hands of the Japanese. They're more Godzilla than Kurosawa, if you know what I mean. The trend is action heroes like Stallone or Schwarzenegger, or otherwise movies like the ones Amblin is making. I'm afraid there won't be any room for high-budget dramas such as the ones you're proposing. We're grateful for Peter Evans' work. The studio pulled through its worst times thanks to him. But we're in 1985, Goldberg. Teens rule the box office. I hope you understand. Anyway, since you're here, I got something to show you. I found this in the desk beside the office phone. Barry Landau produces a letter with a letterhead of some flying saucer pictures. It seems to be a small studio of little to no budget devoted to fantasy or horror movies. You can't grasp why Evans committed suicide, but much less why Dad was in his office. Peter Evans despised those kind of small producers worried about making money with exploitation movies instead of making art. Oh jeez, okay, he was an artist, sure. It took a lot for you to stand up for yourself, given that you were responsible for several mass killer movies. Curious, isn't it? Evans dealing with this kind of scum. I mean, you know what? You can keep it. Your talent is closer to this trash than to our studio. Oh, come on! I've proven I can be more than a slasher screenwriter. Let me remind you, I was an Oscar nominee? Right. So was Cher last year. Oh, jeez. Take it. My hand's getting tired. Alright. I wish you much success in your career, Goldberg. You'll need it. Hollywood is changing, and we're not in the 70s anymore. Goodbye. Shit. Well, if there ever was a chance to touch heaven in Hollywood again, it's gone. You're surprised to realize, though, that your stagnant future in B movies is the last thing you're worried about now. Peter Evans was an important figure to you, not only because he believed in your project and he tried to move heaven and earth to get it made. Peter Evans was the man you wanted to become. Wealthy, well-connected, and able to bring top-tier movie projects to life. Now, he's dead. By his own hand. How's it possible for someone who's got everything they want to live in life to end up like this? You look at the letter Barry Landau just gave you. Dear Mr. Evans, I do know what you're talking about indeed. I thus beg you to handle this in person. You will surely understand this matter should be dealt with discreetly. Kind regards, Glenn Bishop. You marvel at Peter Evans' luxurious mansion and still can't come to terms with the fact. You can't understand either what one of the most powerful executives in Hollywood could need from one of the most insignificant production companies in Los Angeles. Without a project that could put you back in the spotlight, with a script of a sequel that's going nowhere, and with no desire to make anything else, you decide to delve into why someone like Evans did what he did. Oh, okay. We got a new location. Should we talk to the police officer since we're here? Officer? Sir? What happened in there? Nothing good. The movie guy, blew his brains out. You need to have a pair for that, don't you think? Do you know if he left a suicide note? You watch a lot of movies, don't you? Well, actually, I write them. More than 90% of the people who commit suicide don't leave any notes, so... It's a myth. Well, still, did he leave one? Why are you still asking all these questions? Are you some sort of journalist? No, I'm a screenwriter, I already told you. Have you written anything that I may have watched? Well, does Melodies of Heaven ring any bell? Are you kidding? You wrote that movie? You unconsciously smile with pride. Yes? Oh. What a bore. Oh, great. Married my wife, made me go watch it with her. I fell asleep. That's my review. Oh, thanks. It's okay. She liked it though. I shouldn't be talking about this with you, you know? It's strictly police business. But to hell with that, if I can tell Mary I've been talking to the writer of Melodies of Heaven. Haven. We're having some communication issues lately. This way we'll have something to talk about, you know? As for the note, nope, he didn't leave one. Anything else you want to know? Was it really a suicide? You mean whether someone murdered him and made it pass for a suicide, right? I can see your screenwriter mind at work. I'm afraid to disappoint you. Everything seems to suggest otherwise. No doors or windows forced, and according to my colleagues, the position in which he was holding the rifle seems natural. Can I go in? Of course not. So why did you allow Barry Landau inside? Your friend? The one who just left? He's not my friend. Yeah, I saw he was glad to get rid of you. Orders from above. He seems to have a good relationship with the boss. Is that even legal? Letting a civilian into a crime scene? No way, he could alter it. Even take vital evidence. Well, he was, right under your nose. He took some papers. And I'll file a complaint, don't worry about that. You could have denied him entry. I just told you. Orders from above. I'll file a complaint. Hey, how about we stop going in circles here? I'm aware the situation's anomalous, okay? Okay, so what are you guarding exactly? Well, the crime scene. I thought you left once the place was sealed. Well, soon everyone will know a big fish from the movie blew his brains out, and this will be written with journals. I don't know if you know them, but they're capable of jumping over the fence to snap a picture. I don't like the idea of standing here like one of those living statues on Sunset Boulevard. My thing is patrolling, but orders from above. Alright, orders from above. Alright, I'm leaving. Have a good day, sir. Well, we're not gonna go inside, at least not yet. We may later in the full movie. Hi, we meet again. Yeah. Where do we go this time? I mean, let's go to Flying Saucer Pictures, right? Get on the trail. See what was going on. Oh, great. I mean, what the hell is this? That's odd. According to the letterhead, the Flying Saucer Productions offices should be here. Rummaging to the rubble won't help you rebuild the Flying Saucer Pictures offices. If they were ever here. Oh, maybe it was like a fake address. Guys and guy. You can recognize the dealer from miles away. And this one in particular is not making any effort to hide it. Hey friend. I don't know what they told you, buddy, but I don't sell nothing. Nobody told me anything. I don't even know who you are and what you do for a living. Though I can guess the latter. Oh, can you? What do you want, buddy? Well, I'm looking for the Flying Saucer Pictures offices. Flying what? This is 451 Roadside Avenue, right? Don't know, I guess, man. Well, I think there should be an office here instead of this rubble. Oh yeah, fuck. The movie guy. What a fucking bastard. They say it was him who caused the building to collapse so he could collect the insurance money. A gas leak or something. The asshole could have blown up half the fucking street. You gotta be a real son of a bitch to do something like that, huh? So do you know where I can find this guy? His name is Glenn Bishop? No idea, man. Hope you find him, but behind bars. That's his place. So do you know anybody who could point me to Glenn Bishop? Well, the owner of the pawn shop here, but he's not in right now. I think he's testifying at the police station. A problem with some jewels or something. He left his cousin in charge of the shop, but he's kinda dumb, so don't waste your time with him. And that laundromat? You ever seen one before? There's no one in charge there. You go in, put in a coin, and wash your clothes. Clearly you have someone to do it for you. I think that's all. Okay, man. Okay, man. That was a bad line. I delivered a bad line. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. You don't need anything from Fred's pawn shop, but you now know where to find one in case you need it. Okay, so we need to go to the police station to find the... Do you mind the cigar smoke? It's a Havana cigar, the only good thing those communists have. Anyway, where to? I mean, the site, I guess that's the address I've been at. Let's go to Ruskin Productions, I guess. The actual place where we work. Come on, gentlemen, splash the cash. You could be helping this poor man right here with all that dough you shrimp hiring illegals to take care of your lawns. Scrimp. Scrimp? Scrimp is a word? Anyway, apparently scrimp is a word. They lead to the building interior, right. Neil Gordon, lawyers. Dave Morrison, the marketing officer for Phantasm Cycles, reads with bewilderment that Route 66 is not a part of the US numbered highway system anymore. Part of his new campaign is based on the relevance of that historical route. The trash can is full to the brim. Well, Jack probably took whatever was useful there. Jack? Who's Jack? Oh, this guy's Jack. Right, makes sense. The one on the right is Frank Rooker from Berkeley. Rooker and Jones, whose offices are in the 8th, are at in the 8th floor? At the 8th floor, right? Not in. Anyway, the one on the left is one of their youngest and most promising lawyers, Jack Jordan. Or Stephen Hartnett. You don't know. All those young lawyers with their slicked back hair look the same to you. Jack Palmer was a child star in the 30s. He was the lead on Gang of Seven, such a rip-off of our gang that its biggest accomplishment was not to be sued for plagiarism. When his voice changed and the zits came, he disappeared until he returned in his 50s as the director of a couple of movies about giant radioactive insects which devoured everything that crossed their paths. Humans, military machinery, and even the production company itself, which went bankrupt. He came back to Hollywood in the 80s in his last incarnation, a homeless drunkard. Neil Gordon is a horror movie enthusiast who manages, writes, and publishes a small fanzine called Terror Zone. He thinks you are one of the best current horror screenwriters, and he is dying to interview you. But ending up reading your words in a magazine made of loosely stapled photocopies doesn't match your concept of an interview. Right, because you're too good for that, of course. I'm really not liking the main character. Let's talk to Jack. Well, well, you're here to insult me again? What? Again with that... what's this, your way of saying hello? You told me your career was going downhill so hard that you would rather jump off the 6th Street viaduct than end up like me. Come on, Jack, don't be so resentful. Even if that happened 12 days and 46 minutes ago, I don't like to be called resentful. Those things hurt, Alan. Alright, for the umpteenth time, I'm sorry. I got a habit of saying what I think. That's not a virtue. The trick is to think what you say. You know what, Alan? You're a strange guy. You don't like people, you freak them out, and yet somehow nobody tells you to fuck off. Huh, right. Anyway, how's it going? Awful. Glad to see you haven't lost that optimism you're known for. How's the day going? Nothing yet, but I've just gotten started. But I always wondered why you beg in a place like this. I don't like to hustle from common people. It's hard enough for them to just earn a living, you know? But here, Look at those yuppies. Look at their hands. They're perfect. Most of them waste so much money in manicure. They do fuck all. They earn their all their money through speculation. If I've got to fleece someone, I'd rather be them. Well, these people are not the kind to give handouts, Jack. They don't even see you. That's what you think? Check this out. You all cheer for USA for Africa and all those singers going, "We are the world," but fuck those of us standing right here. Hypocrites. Here, mister. Now that's yours. Try not to waste it on booze. I'd waste it on cocaine like you do, but I don't think I'll be able to afford it. Have a good day. $5. I've made my day. See? Oh. That's a successful, aggressive beggar. They showed me one of your movies yesterday. They showed one of your movies yesterday. Which one? The one with the fucking spiders or the one with the fucking ants? Spiders. And how do you know if you don't watch TV? I read it in the papers. Those movies are in the spotlight again with this whole 50s revival that's going on. I still don't see a single cent from them. Not that I should anyway. The production company went bankrupt and who knows who got the rights now. Some asshole must be making crazy money off my work while I'm here begging. Though not long ago a couple of journalists came for an interview for one of those magazines for wankers. What was it called? Starlog? I feel like a director again, telling them about how those movies were made. Those were good times, Alan. Right, well... Don't be stuck in those times. I've got things to do, Jack. Behave, Alan. I told you I wasn't going to grant you an interview, so you can leave the bench free for whoever needs it. You were pretty clear last time, Mr. Goldberg. It's hard to forget, you were quite blunt. But I'm not here for you, I'm trying to interview Christopher Ruskin. Couldn't you... No. I checked out your fanzine. Fanzine? Magazine? I skimmed it before trashing it. Oh, great. Most kind of you. Judging by what I read, you do write quite well. Quite well. You've got talent, kid. Why do you waste it writing for those kinds of movies? Do you want some advice? Take your writings and bring them to Variety or The Hollywood Reporter. You'll land the job. But please get a haircut and wear something else. Don't go in there looking like that. So you tell me how to dress, what to write about, anything else? Yes. Take off those earrings. Wow. This guy's super grumpy, hates everyone. So are you going to wait here all day? It's my day off. When I see Mr. Ruskin come out, I'll try to get him to get my interview. I hope he's nicer than you. What's your interest in Ruskin? I'm working on a special issue about new horror movie producers. Christopher Ruskin is one of them. Don't be mistaken, Ruskin's no more than a producer of exploitations. He doesn't give a damn about horror cinema. You think so? Well, I work for him. Well, if he gave a damn about horror movies, he wouldn't have you as his screenwriter. Ooh. Damn, roasted. You ready yourself to answer with a conclusive, "I'm not a horror movie screenwriter." But that's what you are. Not would he give us his new movie Larger and Larger. Not would... what? Not hire the best up-and-coming visual effects technicians out there. He knows what he's doing. Huh, good luck then. I hope Ruskin won't send you packing, which is what I would do. I don't think so. Brian Usna didn't, not Robert Shane, not Glenn Bishop, not Charles Bond. Producers tend to be nicer than certain screenwriters. Wait, hold on, did you say Glenn Bishop? Glenn Bishop, yeah. Do you know where I could find him? Are you serious? He makes video movies, very low budget ones. If you want to waste your time, so be it, but I would keep working for Ruskin Productions. It's not that, I just want to talk to him about certain matters. I'll ask again, do you know where I can find him? And don't tell me Roadside Avenue. No, he's not there anymore. He had some problems with the gas leak, or at least that's what he tried to convince me of. There's rumors about him already having a new office when the disaster happened. Yeah, because he made it happen. So he's now... let's make a deal. Intercede with Ruskin so that he grants me an interview, and I'll tell you. Tell me, and I'll talk to Ruskin. Do I look like a sucker to you? Well, with your age, I guess so. How old are you, kid? 20? Do me a favor, Mr. Goldberg. Ruskin won't grant an interview to a fanzine. Fanzine, I guess? This is my offer. You know what? I got a lot to do. Why don't you tell me where I can find Bishop? When you intercede with Christopher Ruskin so that he grants you an interview, sure. I hope the wait isn't too bad. Yeah, well, goodbye, Mr. Goldberg. Great. Well, quid pro quo, right? Let's go to Ruskin Productions. Alan! I never thought I'd say this, but I'm glad to see you. Again, James? Hey, we got a little debate here. You're the most educated one of us, educated of all of us, so tell me, Pam is saying that the Church of Mother Earth is a cult. It is? Oh, come on, not you too. You should stop by one day, Alan. As a guest, of course. We have exercises to improve one's mood and see life from a different perspective. I'd rather throw myself out that window. You're wasting your time, friend. How about you, Pam? Are you in? I don't get paid enough to put up with this. Yeah, I ain't got time for this shit. The first movie produced by Ruskin was House by the Graveyard in 1981, a Z movie indebted to Italian horror cinema with an aesthetic closer to the 70s than the decade it was shot in. I really like the poster, it's really cool. The Neighbor was a boring movie about a girl who thought her neighbor was a vampire. Lately, Ruskin has been thinking of suing Tom Holland and Columbia Pictures over the suspiciously similarities between his film and the recent Fright Night. Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna get money from that. Door. James Crosby. Christopher Ruskin was so impressed with the concept of shockwaves that he wanted his own Nazi zombie movies. Scharführer had little success, and the blame fell on Ruskin Productions' then official screenwriter. After the disaster's premiere, you were hired to replace him. 1982 was James Crosby's year. He was the lead in President's Day Killer and was admitted as a member of the Church of Mother Earth. From then on, parts and big studio productions started raining on him. Oh, so this must be like, okay, so the Church of Mother Earth must be some sort of like tie-in to Scientology, you know, like a stand-in actually for Scientology. They should have just said Scientology. He's not aware that his success is due to the power of the church holds in Hollywood, but because he starred in a modestly successful B-movie. Sometimes he drops by the company to convince Pam or whoever is around to join his cult. Right. Pam Lawrence is Christopher Ruskin's right hand. Without her, the company would be a shadow of what it is now. Of course, that's such a line that you hear like freaking like so often these days. There are times you feel she knows more about everything that's going on in the company than her own boss, of course. So she's the one to go to first when any issues come up. You always have the secretary that knows better than everyone else, and she practically runs the company. Like, okay, that's like such a yeah, boring cliche at this point. How's the script going? Okay, I need to touch up a couple of things. Problems with the third act, right? How do you know? Well, I've been working with you for a long time, honey. When everything's going well, you just say one word. When you try to explain yourself, it means something is wrong. The treatment already showed that you weren't too sure about the third act. But don't worry, we begin shooting next month. There's still time. Right. Let's actually see our boss, Ruskin. Alan! I've heard the news. What a shame, huh? Indeed. Does that mean that your project, fucked up? Yep. I don't want to sound callous in such a moment, but this is good news for Ruskin Productions. Our Alan isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Well, I don't have much of a choice. Oh, come on, don't be like that. Do you know what was I staring at before? The city at your feet, right? Makes you feel powerful? Ah, you're impossible. Come here. Look towards Sunset Strip. That billboard ad on the corner by Tower Records? What do you see? A brown and blue blot? Come on, Alan. What do you want me to see? The sun's reflecting off the window and I can't see a damn thing. It's the lunatic poster on Sunset Boulevard. Do you know what that means? We can afford it. We're making big money thanks to you. Do you know where I've been today? Surprise me. In a meeting with Toynet, they're releasing an action figure line of horror monsters. And you know who's going to be the star? The lunatic. They're all along the same lines. Alan, Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger. And thanks to the movie's success, they want your creation to be the star figure. Isn't it wonderful? A lunatic toy. Wonderful. I know it's not the figurine you'd like to have in your hands, but we're on the way, Alan. We'll soon be able to afford higher budget movies as well as other genres. The day will come when you can write anything you want and I will gladly produce it. But the success of horror movies is what will allow us to make riskier things. It's easy to understand, isn't it? I'm sick of writing the same things over and over again, Christopher. That's all. I know, but you're very good at it. We've won awards thanks to you, and I'm not letting you go. And now, if you'll allow me, I'm going to keep admiring our future. The poster, really? The bad, actually. Downtown LA looks spectacular in the late evening light. Don't Go to the Forest 2D and Campfire Psycho. Surprisingly for you, they were both a success. You look at the posters for the movies you've written with the same indifference as a plumber looking at the faucet he's about to fix. Though he may be prouder of the work he's done. Wow, this guy, I really don't like this guy. Like, this is one of the few main characters that I really don't like. Because of how he is, he's a grumpy, ungrateful guy. And he's not that old either. He's like, just, dude, enjoy life. Like, I understand it's not, the glamour that you were expecting, but, maybe you're not that talented either. Do you have a moment? Sure. First of all, how's the script going? Remember to do whatever you want with it. There won't be any sort of interference on my part. I trust you completely. Well, I've got issues with the third act. Nothing I can't fix. Well, the usual writer's block, huh? Think of something shocking. You've got time. There's still a month to go before we start shooting. What did you want to tell me? Does Crosby always have to be here? Ah, well, let's drop it, okay? I don't mind a star hanging around this office. Well, it bothers me that they try to recruit everyone and their mother into their cult. You know what? Sometimes I wonder if it would be a good idea to join them. Are you serious? Don't you have enough with believing in pseudoscience? Well, they have power in Hollywood, Alan. Lots of power. They could help Ruskin Productions take off for good. Look, I don't want to hear it. It's just an idea. I don't think I'm doing it anyway. So, there's a kid who wants to interview you. Oh yeah? Variety? The Hollywood Reporter? Some fanzine. Ah, some fanzine. Not interested. The kid adores you. I don't know why, but he does. Does he? Well, he says you're more than the director of exploitations, that you know what you're doing. Of course I am. I try to hire the best. Those were his words, Yeah? And he knows how to write. He's as good or even better than any film journalist you know. And he knows how to negotiate. You know what, Alan? I've been thinking about hiring a press officer lately. That would free up Pam, who's already quite busy with her work. You say the kid's good? Well, check for yourself. Accept the interview. Every time I've trusted you, I've trusted your gut, it's been good for me, so yes, you can tell them to come by. Alright? But not today. It's been a busy day. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Is that fine? Whatever suits you best. Settle then. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Okay, great. Great. Drinks. Let's have a drink. Christopher always has expensive drinks at hand to liven up meetings and render possible investors defenseless. Can I have a drink then? You don't fancy a drink right now. Come on. You're a grumpy guy that's, you know, like always down and annoyed with life and with everyone. You're shooing to be a drunkard. I'm sure he's a drunkard. He must be an addict. He must be an alcoholic. It's like, it's impossible if he's not an alcoholic. We'll probably find out all that later. Alright, Ruskin agreed for the interview. Really? I said good things about you. He's even thinking about hiring you as his press officer. I'm not interested, I already have a job. What do you do for a living? I'm a mechanic. Well, I'm an assistant mechanic. How much do you make a month? It doesn't matter, don't answer. Ruskin would double it, even triple it. Well, if I accept the job, it would conflict with my reviews of any movie by the production company. You're no mercenary, are you? True. Is that fanzine that important to you? Well, it's my whole life. Are you listening to yourself? You have the chance to earn a ton of money, work for an up-and-coming production company, and attend horror movie shoots. Are you going to miss out on that? Any kid interested in the horror genre would kill for a job like that. You can balance work and the fanzine. Alright, I'll think about it. When do I get to interview him? Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Well, thanks a lot, Mr. Goldberg. And now, where can I find Glenn Bishop? Mansfield Avenue, 13. Ah, yes, finally, thank you. I'd thank you if I hadn't had to barter. This is Hollywood. I guess that justifies everything. Anyway, there's nothing else. If there's nothing else for me, I'll go. I'm leaving, Mr. Goldberg. Thanks for your help. The text really needs to be like, I mean, there's no option right now. Try to dress decently tomorrow, not like a criminal. It'll be an interview. I know. A job interview. And take off those earrings. Anyway, I would really like the option to have the text just go when you know, on click. Because this is just you can miss out on the text. Good morning, LA. Alright, so we got your face seems familiar, man. Haven't I given you a ride before? Yes, you did. We're gonna go see Glenn Jacobs. I don't give a damn if you did everything you could, Tony. Your job is to do the impossible. No. Where am I going to find... One moment. Who the hell are you? Thanks for playing Nightmare Frames Prologue. The adventure continues in 2022. Please consider adding Nightmare Frames on your Steam wishlist. So that was the abrupt ending of the prologue of Nightmare Frames. But here you can see other frames from other locations in the game. So you will be visiting a lot of places, looking for that scariest movie of all time. But that was the one. That was the demo version. Now, well, the prologue. Sorry, the prologue. Now, if you want to check out the prologue yourself, you should be able to find it on Steam. Just see the link in the description below. Developed by Postmodern Adventures, of course. And I mean, I like how the game looks. I like the story. I do not like the main character, which is really interesting because usually I'm fine with it. I just go along with the story. Like, I don't necessarily have to like, but this guy I really don't like. He's unlikable to me and probably to everyone and to himself, you know, even. But you know what? I still want to see, you know, the story through the end. I'm just probably not gonna root for him to have a better life and, you know, have success after this, because you know what? If he's not grateful for what he has, then maybe he doesn't deserve to have, you know, more than that. Because you have to have like a certain balance, not to be like all down and grumpy and negative towards, you know, your life, especially, you know, in the context of, you know, many other people having it a lot worse than him. But you know what? I'm gonna see. We'll have to. I definitely want to see Nightmare Frames in its full 2022. You can wishlist the game again on Steam. Just see the link in the description below. Thanks so much everyone for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up real quick. And if you like what I do here, consider subscribing. That would be actually immensely helpful if you could subscribe, tell other people about the channel, spread the word, check out the back catalog too, check out YouTube, check out BitChute, check out Odyssey if you want to see all the cool games that I cover. And after that, please take just half a minute to see the ways to which you can support me so I can continue doing gaming coverage and more for a very long time. The best way to support me is to join my locals community at cryptichybrid.locals.com. The link is also in the description below. You can join the locals community for free, or you can become a member or supporter for $4 a month. It's like a Patreon, it's like a magazine subscription, except it's better than all those because you get tons and tons of perks, and it's a very low cost. If you become a supporter, you get early access to videos, you get support only live streams, you get to decide what I play every Monday on live stream, you get behind the scenes content, you get access to never before seen videos, and apparently I can go without my wallet. Okay, so apparently I have to get the wallet. So you get behind the scenes content, you get to ask questions for future developer interviews that I do, and your questions will take priority during those interviews, and you also get to participate in game giveaways, all for those $4 a month, while you also help the channel continue and hopefully flourish. So that's the best way to support me. Other ways, you can give me a direct donation through PayPal. There's a PayPal link in the description. You can donate cryptocurrency to the PayString link. You can donate BATs, basic attention tokens, if you use the Brave browser, and check out any video of mine on YouTube or any post that I make on Twitter at Cryptic Hybrid. Follow me there. And last but not least, there's a Humble store link in the description below. You know, bookmark that, use it whenever you want to buy anything from the Humble store, or if there's anything that you want from Steam and it's also available on Humble, buy it on Humble with my link, and you're not gonna pay anything extra. You're just gonna tell that store to send me a small percentage of the money you spend there. So it's a very straightforward, easy way to support me and my channels without actually having to pay anything out of pocket. That was everyone. That was Nightmare Frames, the prologue, and until the next time we see each other, don't be like this guy, and have an awesome day.